Hi, welcome back to the Flourishing YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a summer arrangement as well as style your table. So if you're having a dinner party or just want to spruce it up because it's so hot outside and you need a little bit of outdoors in, I'm going to show you how to do that today. First, I want to talk about color theory with you. Color theory is something that sometimes people have a really hard time with, like what colors look good together, or how can I pair this with dishes that I already have? Well, today I want to show you that we are going to use an analogous color palette. Analogous just means that it's 3 to 5 colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. So we have this beautiful sunflower that has the colors in there. So that's where my palette started, was when I saw these, I knew this is what I wanted to pull from. I was able to get some local flowers today from my friend Angie at Come to the Table, and I forged quite a bit of it from my backyard as well. So it's always fun when you're thinking about what you're going to plant for the year of what can be used in an arrangement. So I have this sedum, which is out of my yard. We have this beautiful yellow stalk, chamomile, which came from Angie. It's absolutely gorgeous. She has this gorgeous strawflower, which again, it already has the analogous color palette in it, so we're just gonna play off of that. Again, mint is just all over the place in my yard, so the more I cut, the better. And then I got some of this really pretty plum, non-flowering plum tree foliage. So, when you're looking at this analogous palette, we have these burnt orangish red colors, we have the yellow, we have a paler yellow, and then we just have some white. When I do the tablescape with you, I'm going to show you an analogous complementary palette. So the flowers are going to be analogous, but the styling is going to add this blue. And the reason it works is because it's an analogous complementary palette. If the palette was more, let's say, of like purples and blues in your analogous, you could highlight some accents with yellow because that's the complementary color. So when you're working with color theory, there's monochromatic, which means it's all within the same color, but you either add black or you add white, and that's how you get your variation of color. When you have an analogous palette, that's going to be the 3 to 5 colors right next to each other on the wheel. So you can turn this and see, you have your blue, green, and yellow together. You can have green, yellow, and oranges. And you just move around the color wheel and you can see how these, I picked this up on Amazon. It's super helpful if you really enjoy styling and planning things because this can help you pick out your color scheme and you know it's gonna work. So let's get started on the arrangement. Okay, today I'm going to use the tape method where I have my container and I'm going to put in my flower food. Flower food helps to keep the bacteria low in the water. It also helps to give nutrients to the flowers, and it just helps the flowers to hydrate better. So you always want to put that in, give it a little stir. And then I'm going to use the tape method today. In some of my videos, I use chicken wire, where I cut a chicken wire and I smush it together and I stick it into the vase. But today I'm going to make a grid where I go across and cut that off. Put another one. This just helps you to give an armature so that you don't have to fill it up so much with greenery. All right, so there we go. We have our grid ready to go. All right, so we have our container, we have the flower food in it, we have the grid all set up. Now we're just going to start designing. I'm going to put in our foliage first, and we want to make sure that we cut our flowers at a 45-degree angle so that they get the most surface area to drink water. I'm going to create a line that goes a little bit oblong, so that's what I'm going to start with my greenery to create that line. Now that that's set, I'm going to put a couple of my focal flowers, which is the sunflowers. There we have another line created with the focal flowers. And then we have the stalk, which is also a line flower, that I'm going to mimic the line of the greenery. And you want to make sure that you have all your greenery taken off of your stem that could be in the water, because if any greenery gets in the water, then that can breed bacteria, and then that bacteria gets sucked up into your flowers, and the life of your flowers is reduced. So now we've created another line with our line flowers going across this direction. This just helps for the eye to travel throughout the arrangement. I'm going to add the strawflower in. This will help to fill in the space that's not filled by the line or focal flowers. And the way I gauge how tall I'm going to make something is looking at how long my stem is and then where I want it to fall so that it hits the bottom of the vase. And then I eyeball that, and because I've been doing it for so long, I have a really good idea of how long my stem is going to be. When you're first starting, if you put it right up to the vase like this and kind of see where it is, then you can just take off that little bit and place it right where you'd like it. So I have a couple more of these I'm going to add in. Then I'm going to place a couple more of our sunflowers. Now that I have a little bit more put together, I can decide where I want to place the last two. Now the sedum I'm going to use as greenery but also texture, because it has the little part that's starting that eventually it'll turn a pink color, and then it'll turn a really bright burgundy the closer we get to fall. It's a really beautiful plant to have at your home. And this has a beautiful bend to it, so I'm going to put it right here underneath so that it has a really pretty flow right there. And you want to make sure that you just keep turning your arrangement so that you can see that everything is balanced really pretty. And sometimes it's good to turn things upward, and then I can bring some greenery down right there, or even some of this chamomile to bring that line and cover the base of the vase. And I'm also going to move this greenery so that it can go right underneath there. Chamomile is considered a filler flower, So it's smaller, more airy and dainty, and it does what it's called. It fills the space that you need to fill. If you can buy local flowers, they are the best because they're being cut right out of the field. They are not being shipped. They're not being exposed to all the elements. They're just being cut, and then you're bringing them home and placing them in your arrangements, and they will last so much longer for you. So if you have an opportunity to look up, you know, some places in your area that may be offering fresh bouquets every week, or they come to the farmer's market, it's a really great place to get flowers. So now we're gonna turn it that way, and I'm going to add this mint as a line flower to pop up, just give this arrangement just a little bit more airiness and interest. In my yard, I have mint, and I also have oregano. It's not ready yet, but it blooms and it has these beautiful little purple flowers on it, and it's one of my favorite things to use later in the season. So now we have this beautiful summer arrangement, and when you're designing, you want to make sure that you have some flowers in deeper so your eye goes into there, other flowers and foliage out wider. That way you just have a lot of interest and your arrangement isn't flat. So this will be a perfect centerpiece for the table. This is a little bit longer than I'd like, so I'm just gonna cut it down, place it back in there. Just kind of move things around, play with them, see where your lines are, see where you want to make an adjustment. And so there's our centerpiece. Now I'm going to show you how to create the styling portion. When it comes to styling, I am a big fan of using what you already have. So I have these coasters, or not coasters, placemats that I already have. So I put them down. I've got these really nice just off-white dishes that I'm gonna use. I got those at Target. They're part of the Magnolia line. I found these really pretty pale blue dishes that, like I was telling you earlier, the reason they work with this palette is because it's an analogous plus complementary. So this isn't a really vibrant blue, but you could even use something more vibrant because it would be in that color palette that we could use. I already had these striped linens. They go great with the table and chairs. And then I just place them down on each one. And then I have some actual, you know, silver, sterling, whatever, flatware. I love all the different colors of flatware they have now. They have black, they have a muted gold, they have hammered, copper. You can really pick up some really pretty pieces. So if there's something that goes with your decor and you want to invest in that, I think it's a great idea. It really adds to your table. And that's it. That's an easy way to style, and I will show you the finished product in just a minute. I hope you enjoyed this video on creating a summer arrangement with some locally grown flowers, as well as styling your table. If you would please help me out and subscribe and like and share this with your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. If you are interested in floral design, I have a couple different options of online or in-person training through aflourishingeducation.com. And you can check out all the things that I do there. I have owned a retail shop, I have freelanced, and I have my own home studio and specialize in weddings and events. So if any of those things interest you, I'd love to help you. Have a wonderful day.